If you want to start photography or videography as a business in 2025, then watch this video. A year and a half ago, I decided to start my journey as a full-time photographer and videographer based in Tokyo, Japan. And after more than a year of successes, lessons, but also achievements, because I succeeded to make more than 6 figures in my first year of business, I want you to take a time with you to reflect, but also to give some advice to the people who might want to get started. I think that the first step in taking your photography hobby, if that's a hobby at the moment, full-time, is to first get ready for what's coming. A lot of people will sell you the dream of photography, the dream that you can make it full-time and that you will travel the world and that you will spend your time doing photography or videography and only that. And I think that's kind of a wrong dream to sell because it's absolutely not true. If you want to take photography as a business, get ready to do photography and videography maybe 20% of the time. The remaining 80% will be client call, emailing, accountancy, marketing, sales, and tons of things that you have to learn to be successful in the photography business. So I think that's the first step, that you need to realize that it's not only about photography or videography when it comes to business. I think that this is ironically kind of like the least important of the things that you can learn, because I assume that if you have some interest in photography, well, you supposedly have some skills if you want to sell your services, right? But everything that's around it is what actually make a professional and what differentiate a professional from a beginner. Step one is to actually get good, right? So I did mention that, yes, you're going to do photography and videography 20% of the time, but you have to make that count. If the 20% of the time you don't do a good job at it, you will not get clients. And if you don't produce some work that can attract your clients based on what you want to shoot, of course, but if you don't understand how to take proper pictures, how to shape light, how to, master your camera and your tools that you have at your disposition to create proper work, you will not get paid clients because they will not want to pay for the results that you produce. So the first step is to get good enough, and that's the key, good enough for you to be able to charge for your services. But don't get me wrong, it doesn't mean that once you start your business, you are okay and you don't have to learn anymore. That's completely not true, but at least you have to get the basics right, understand how to properly expose, how to shape the light the way you want, etc., to be able to start your business. And along the way, anyway, you will keep learning depending on what you shoot, which brings me to my point number 2, which is to decide on your niche. Now, before we move forward in the different steps, it's important to know what you're going to shoot and what kind of service you are going to provide. In my case, for example, I focus on couples that are either looking to propose, to elope, or to get married in Japan, right? Whether they come from abroad or they are locals, those are the clients that I service. Now, depending on the clients that you service, your language, your website, everything, like the work that you put out there, will be completely different. And it might take you some time to actually figure out what you want to shoot, right? Let's say you're a landscape photographer and you want to have clients such as, Booking.com, or maybe some tourism agency that you want to pitch. Well, you will need to produce a portfolio or certain work that reflect what you want to shoot. So make sure that you actually understand what you want to shoot before trying to build your portfolio and before trying to do anything else. Because it will define your audience, it will define your marketing tactics, your sales tactics, and the whole language that you use on your website or anywhere that you are publishing. So make sure that you first decide what you're going to shoot and then move forward to the next steps. Personally, in my case, I was kind of, hesitant at the beginning. I thought that, okay, portrait photography is great, but could not necessarily make money for me to sustain my life, right? To pay my rents, to pay my bills. But over the time where I refined my body of work, but also that I refined my messaging, I really realized that, okay, it was not about portrait photography not being good enough for me to make money, but actually the way I was talking to people or the way I was presenting my work, that was wrong because at first it was not clear for me that I wanted to target this particular audience. Now, your step number 3 is to learn about marketing and sales, right? And marketing and sales, especially for the target audience that you are aiming to convert and to sell your services to. Let's say that in my case, I'm a portrait photographer. Learning about marketing and sales using platforms such as Meta, so Facebook and Instagram, as well as Google Ads was very, very important for me, very critical, more than learning about photography itself, right? If I'm not able to attract the right people through my door, there's no way I make money. Now, you also need to talk to those people in the language that they would understand. As photographer, we like talking about lenses or cameras or, I don't know, anything else, but like couples or your audience in general, they don't necessarily want to talk about that. They want to talk about the memories that they create. They want to talk about their special day. They want to talk about how they feel, right? So this is the language that you have to employ when you talk to a certain audience that you're targeting. And this is all about marketing and sales to the right audience. Let's say you are targeting corporate world, right? Then you want to employ the corporate jargon to make sure that you target them properly. And all of this can be learned and can be worked on. So I encourage you to read books like Alex Osmosi, 100 Million Offers and 100 Million Leads that I'm sure will help you get started and understand, okay, how you can attract people and how you can try to convert them as well. So yeah, make sure that you understand the minimum at least the minimum in terms of sales and marketing, because this will definitely make or break your business. That's basically how you will make your money, right? So if you don't want to make money, then that's fine, don't learn about it. But if you want to make money with photography and videography, then I encourage you to really focus on this step. Now, the next step is to build a website, right? Because it's good to have Instagram and Facebook and TikTok presence, but at the end of the day, if you don't have a website, it doesn't look very professional, and you also have no control on what those platforms do, right? In my case, I have built several websites in the past because I have an engineering background, right? So that helps a lot in terms of the technical aspects of things. But I would say that nowadays it's very easy to build a website very quickly with platforms such as Squarespace or Wix or any other out there. Personally, I like Squarespace because I think that they make it very simple for you to get started. They have a lot of add-ons based on what you want to do. If you want to dive into the marketing, if you want to dive into the email part, there are a lot of add-ons, and based on the scale of what you do, you can more or less build a website with minimum cost that could be efficient and cost efficient for you. And this video is not sponsored by Squarespace at all, by the way. It's just what I'm using, and I think that, yeah, I'm using it, it works for me. I built some websites for clients through Squarespace as well because it was enough for them. And I think that for photography services, for you to get clients, to get contacts, to build an email link, to build an email list, I think it's more than enough for you to get started and even scale. Now, when I say build a website, I think that it's also important that you focus on conversion. And for you to be able to convert your clients, well, you will need to go back to one of our first steps, which was to define your audience clearly and to use the language and any other jargon or visuals that would convert them. And well, I cannot spend the whole video right now talking about a website and how to build it and how to convert. But if you want to know more about it, I might make a video about it in the future. So make sure to subscribe to the channel for more information. Now, it's good to have a website and a way for people to contact you, but I think that it's also important to have a way for people to pay you. Now, depending on your audience, again, very important step, you might be okay just having a bank transfer, and sometimes you might need an online platform. So make sure that you understand, okay, what kind of payment your audience is trying to use, right? And make it as easy as possible for them to use that payment platform. So whether it's online through PayPal, through Stripe, or through other platform, learn about payment system because, well, you want to get money as a business and you want to make sure that you make it as easy as possible to do so. So learn about payment system and learn how to implement them on your website. Step number 6 is, well, to learn about CRMs after. So if you don't know about CRM, those are client relationship management. And when I started my business, well, I was like, oh, I don't need that. I can see that down the road, right? Wrong. I think that if you can start that at the beginning, it will be a huge time saving for you, especially if you're serious about it, right? If you just want to have some experience dabbling here and there, take some shots and then stop, then just don't do it as a business. Just keep it as a hobby. But if you want to get serious about it, get a CRM as early as possible. Personally, I use Ninja Studio, which is not perfect at all. There's still some improvement that can be done. There are also some things like Honeybook. I think that's only in the US or maybe Canada as well. There are other CRMs as well as out there. If you want me to make a more detailed video about it, then make sure to let me know in the comments. But get a CRM. And a CRM will allow you to simply automatize so many things. Automatize reply to clients, automatize follow-up, which will increase your chance of conversion, right? Which is will make you more money. So as a business, you really want to work on that, right? Will automatize your calendar, will automatize some appointment. And if you're like me, where you're still alone in your business, right? The more you can automatize, the better. And that might be also, again, my engineering background that's speaking right now, but I just don't like doing tedious tasks again and again and again. For me, that's just a waste of time. So whatever I can automatize, I will do. And again, the CRM, it will cost you some money every month, but I think that this is the best investment so far that I've made in my business, simply put. So get a CRM as soon as possible. And the step number 7 is, simply put, start marketing and advertising, get client and keep at it. Repeat and just correct courses, right? Once you start marketing yourself and start advertising, right, whether depending on the platform that you choose, once you get clients, make sure that you follow up with those clients, make sure that you get reviews from those clients, make sure that you get feedback and that you improve your service, right? At the beginning, you might be underpriced, you might be overpriced, you don't know, right, depending on the market. So you will have to adjust your prices also as you go. You will have to adjust your offer as you go because you don't know at first, right? And it's totally normal. I've been through that as well. It makes sense to do that, to adjust as you go, to see, okay, here I'm working that many hours, okay, I'm definitely underpriced, or, oh, okay, the market is, nobody wants to book with me. Is that my work? Is that my price? I have to think, etc., right? And it's just a continuous improvement and a continuous change of what you're doing, how you're presenting your work, your website, etc. And you will just keep with it and keep improving. And at the end of the day, it's very rewarding because you can definitely see the impact of every single thing that you do in your business in terms of revenue, right? If you serve well your client, you will get good feedback in terms of revenue, right? If you are not doing a good job, you will see it. I mean, you will see it yourself, but also people that you interface, that you interact with will let you know as well. And I think that's the good part of business, is that you get feedback very quickly, especially in this line of work, on how your work is going and what kind of work you do. And at the end of the day, that's what business is all about. Doing a good job serving your clients and making a profit out of it, because that's how you pay your bills and that's how you live, right? So let me know down in the comments if you have any questions about those different steps. And if you want to know more about business and how to take photography or videography full-time in 2025, well, make sure to subscribe to the channel, because I plan on releasing more of this kind of video this year. And I want to share a bit more about my journey as well, and about the business aspect of things, because I think that this is something that is not discussed enough on YouTube, and that I could share some of my experience with you. So if you want to know more about it, make sure to subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you in the next video.